wasn't just me that my kids, I'm not the only reason my kids came out right. I don't know how much I had to do with it. I don't think there was much cause and effect. I see a loving family, a loving mother, a loving stepmother. I see congregations around the country who have touched my children's lives. And I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world that these people were out there for me to help me. And so I give them the credit, and I give God the credit, because love has compensated. Love has covered a multitude of my sins, as John said. And sometimes we forget to give thanks and say thanks. You know, I remember the story I heard recently of the guy that was late for a job interview, the most important interview in his life. And he was in a big city. Parking was at a premium. So he allowed plenty of time and tried to pull up to the office building, biggest interview of his life, make it or break it for him. And he couldn't find a parking spot. He couldn't find a parking spot. The minutes were ticking away. You know, it was getting closer and closer and closer. And there were no parking spots. He was starting to panic. Finally, at the last possible minute, he's starting to pray now. This has made him a man of faith. God, please, just whatever you do, I need this spot. Just open up one spot for me. The minutes are ticking away. And finally, just when it's almost too late, a car pulls out right in front of the building. And he starts to pull in. But before he does, he looks up and says, God, oh, that's all right, God. Don't worry about it. I found one already. But, you know, we go through life, and I think we do this. We take things for granted. Everything goes so well. We're so healthy. Our kids are so healthy. And we forget to say thanks and to congratulate those around us, and even to congratulate God. And to me, that's a part of what worship is. We congratulate God, this divine source of love and creativity, which fills our lives and fills our worlds and fills our hearts. It makes us the best people and the best fathers we can be. So love educates, it stimulates, it communicates, it congratulates, and lastly, self-giving love exonerates. And what I mean is this, simply. It looks at our children. It looks at the people around us. And it says, it's okay. You're okay. And I look at my children, how hard they try, and how well they do most of the time, and know that they're going to fail some of the time, and know how badly they feel. And to have someone, and I think this is a big role of the father, to have someone say, you know what, it's okay. You know how much that means to somebody, just to hear those words? And more than that, you're okay. You're not a bad person. You're not a failure. You're not a loser. It's okay. You're okay. It's going to be okay. Now, I know all about tough love. I understand that. I know about holding somebody's feet to the fire. But at some point, children, young people, even adults, need to know there's somebody in their life that will never stop loving them. And I want my children to know that. There's nothing you can do to make me stop loving you. And to me, that is a reflection of God's love. That is a reflection of the self-giving love demonstrated in the cross. The highest form of love, by the way. Because when Jesus was on the cross dying, you have to understand, in his own way, he was saying to those who were crucifying him, there's nothing you can do to make me stop loving you. So if I can demonstrate a little bit of that in my life, by exonerating my kids, by letting them off the hook, by saying finally the last word, the bottom line is love, it's okay, and you're okay. All of those things, educate, stimulate, communicate, congratulate, exonerate, all those big words. How do we do it? One little act of loving kindness at a time. One day at a time. One moment at a time. You know, if you think about sacrificing your life, and I want to close on this note. Sacrifice, it's a word that's fallen into disrepute nowadays, but how do we do it? It's not some big glorious act usually, but it's like if you had a $10 million, that was your life, represented by $10 million. It's not like you'd write a check for $10 million and say, okay, here it is, I'm turning it all over to you. I'm laying down my life in that way. But imagine taking the $10 million and cashing it in for nickels, quarters, and dimes. And then every day, giving out 25 cents here, $1 there, $5 there, one coin at a time. Now that's not going to make the newspapers. No one may ever notice. But that's what sacrificial love means. One little act of loving kindness at a time. I think about that because I have my coin jar. And every time I come home at night, I empty my coins out and I put in this jar. Now, I've done this for years and years. At different times, I've done different things with the coins. Teachable moments. I filled up the coin jar and the kids and I have taken it to the homeless shelter, turned it in, given the money away, so different things. But now, when I fill the jar up, I give it to one of my kids. It's usually the one that needs the laundry money the most. Can you imagine? I mean, this is a huge amount of money for a college student that has dirty laundry. So, and when I put the change in the jar every day, it's kind of a sacramental thing for me. I mean, I think about my kids and I pray for them. I think about them. I ask God, would you, be with them? Would you speak to them? Would you watch over them? Would you guide them? So it's become kind of a ritual for me in my own way. And I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means to sacrifice, to spend our lives, in little ways. I remember one Hindu sage who had just heard a televangelist talking about what it means to be saved and salvation. And he was asked by one of his students about it, and he said, quite honestly, I'm not so interested in being saved. I'm interested in being spent. Well, I want to be saved, but I want to be spent too. And how do you spend your life? I think Jesus is the model in my life that I want to honor and recognize to do that.